Welcome to another episode of It's Been 2 Weeks. I typically don't start it this way, but today is March 3rd, Tuesday, March 3rd. This episode should be releasing in a week, technically.
Almost 1 week from today.
Almost 1 week from today. But the reason why there's a little bit of a scheduling conflict, and we weren't going to be able to record on the Saturday that we typically record, but also some shit's happened that we kind of need to talk about.
I mean, it's not that important, is it?
Really? But anywho, it's been about 2 weeks. Give me an update of what's been going on with you.
All with me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, oh shit. Nothing really. I guess the only real thing is the scheduling conflict is I got family coming in for, some business they gotta kind of attend to.
Right.
But other than that, no, nothing with me.
Nothing with you?
What's going on with you, Will?
Well, been doing the college thing, been doing the streaming. Technically I dropped it, but I was dropped from the class, this whole situation. I guess I could bring this up and just kind of be like this is what grinds my gears kind of like section and shit. So there was a class that I need to take for what I'm ultimately trying to get my degree on, accounting, right? And it was an asynchronous class. And to my knowledge, asynchronous basically meant you could work it on your own time. There was no schedule. Like as long as you got everything done by the end of by the end of the fucking semester. You were fucking golden, right? So I get an email from the professor that I've been dropped from the class. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I mean, admittedly, I hadn't submitted any work or anything of that sort. It had been 2 weeks and I hadn't fucking submitted any work. Because in my head, it was like, I could just literally fucking like buckle down a week or two and then just fucking get like catch up essentially. Right. For more context, all of the classes that I'm taking are online. This one was an online class as well. And so,
real quick, because I've heard this story before. I'm not saying that to be a dick, but like there was also no meetings for this particular class.
Yeah, absolutely. Like so this is an online class. There were no meetings. There was no scheduling time. I didn't have to meet with this person. This person was not this professor was not in any sort of way teaching me anything. You get me? They were providing material for me to read through and then eventually classwork that I needed to work on, but they were not teaching anything. I basically I sent him an email. I asked him here, actually, let me read it verbatim for what I told him, because quite frankly, I think I wasn't being a dick about it either for him to reply in such a manner, but give me a sec.
Very unprofessional, Will. You should have had this prepared already.
How about you suck a nut?
How about no? That's also very unprofessional.
Cool. So the email that I get is basically, you have been dropped from Accounting 001 course. Thank you. And so then I reply hello, professor, please excuse my ignorance as if this is my first time enrolling in college and taking online classes. But was this not an asynchronous class, meaning I could work at my own pace? Also, I've noticed the course is still in my Canvas and that I'm still enrolled in the student portal. Is that something that would be automatically removed from my portal, or do I have to drop the class in the portal? Many thanks, my name. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's a pretty polite, way to inquire about the situation. I don't know. You tell me if I'm wrong or anything.
Could have been nicer.
Could have been nicer. I don't know. I'm not trying to be a dick. I was literally
I'm fucking with you. That sounds pretty. I mean, it sounds very formal.
It is. Yeah. Because he's a professor, so I'm showing him the fucking I guess the respect that you would give a professor, right? Their reply was, no, it does not mean you can work at your own pace. You were sent a syllabus and had access to the class in Canvas from the outset. You were a no-show for the first 2 weeks of class. This is the first time you have contacted me, and I can tell you have not read even my welcome letter. Because this course has necessary building blocks, one class builds on the knowledge gained in the previous one. Thus, you are too far in arrears to continue this term. I would suggest you try the classroom rather than online for future term. Again, going back to the fact that there are no weekly meetings, how the fuck does it matter whether the information from the previous class, you get me?
Well, my thing was if there was no class meetings, how are you a no-show for 2 weeks? I mean,
that's
the part I don't get. More than anything else,
I would assume the no-show is on the technicality that I didn't submit any paperwork or I didn't submit any classwork. You get me? That's how he considered it a no-show. But as I was saying, it's there is no meeting. There is no class time meeting. This professor was in no way giving me any sort of teaching or information. They were not they personally were not providing me the material or giving me the material in a classroom setting all they were doing was providing the material online or uploading the material online and the assignments online. Other than that, they weren't doing any sort of teaching at all.
Were there due dates on the assignments?
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It's like I didn't even know about the due dates or anything of that sort because Canvas never was populated with assignments.
So how are you getting the assignments?
He was fucking emailing them. And I didn't have like I don't have notifications for my emails because it's like on Outlook and I had to
okay.
So like it became a whole fucking process that I had to do now to have like access to my email for my phone so I could get notifications. But my thing is you have a system that is incorporated in the student portal where every teacher I like he was my fourth professor essentially. 3 out of my 4 professors all upload their shit on Canvas. Why wasn't your stuff uploaded on Canvas? Why weren't assignment due dates posted on Canvas? You know?
No, yeah, I get you.
So it's like either you're too fucking stubborn to like, you know, like move with the times, or you're just being a dick trying to fucking like dick over people, which if you are that kind of person, that's a sad existence. But anyway, that's the thing that happened to me. It pissed me off because it was just like, one, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm literally asking you questions as to what the process was, what happened. And his reply was like this very condescending, at least to me, very condescending and kind of like, fuck you, dude. You
like because the first time you read it to me on the way over here and you explained it to me, I'm like, as you were reading it, I'm like, okay, but I'm like, it's also kind of formal, a little bit more. There's a little bit more, I guess, spice to it.
Yeah.
But that last part, that's where I'm like, okay, yeah, that was unnecessary.
You didn't have to fucking say that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was cool. You told me like it's your responsibility to that's fucking that's fine. It is my responsibility to know the information, right, and all that. But that whole like I suggest like I was like you should have just kept that to yourself. He's probably a fucking retiree. He's probably like just this is his final year and he's retiring after this.
Tenure, dog. Tenure.
Ah, dude, I fucking hate that. It's so ridiculous. But
I bet you that he's on the Epstein list.
Imagine he is. That'd be ridiculous. But yeah, that was my kind of like that. This grinds my gears for this fucking episode essentially. But let's move on to the meat and potatoes of the episode, which is going to be
war.
Yes.
Good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. So, in case you haven't noticed,
we are at it.
We are in war with Iran and illegally.
Where is Iran?
Iran is in the Middle East.
Again?
I
wish we had a sound bit that I do the South Park that what? Stan's mom.
Yeah, no, is it Kyle's mom?
Oh yeah, Kyle. My bad.
Yeah, I guess we're back in there again for some reason.
Well, they were gonna attack us, right?
Weren't they saying at one point that they were meddling with our fucking elections or some bullshit like that?
Wasn't it Russia?
No, they wanted to like. So first it was Russia, then they started saying like it was.
Oh yeah, I remember that now.
Like Trump was saying that there were, or not Trump, but his administration at least, or someone in his administration was saying that supposedly they were meddling with our elections, or they were.
That was his first term, though, wasn't it?
I don't remember if it was the first term or the second term.
Remember his first term? We had this scenario where they bombed. They did some sort of strike in Iran and they killed like one of their high-ranking military officials.
Yeah,
and everyone was like, "Oh shit, we're gonna start getting drafted and all that." Like, so he loves that country.
I don't know. Okay, so like I took some what I figured were important, or just kind of like to give you like an understanding of what's the timeline happening since the ending of Obama's presidency until now. This comes from PBS, a timeline of tensions over Iran's nuclear program as talks with U.S. approach. So this is during the time that Trump was talking with, because I think they're going to talk in the Geneva Conventions or something like that. But this is around this time. So July 15th.
Hold on, time out real quick.
Yeah,
because I know this is going to be serious. And I guess, well, that's not a serious question. I guess it's just, how many days was it between the inaugural meeting between the Board of Peace and attacking Iran?
Shit.
Do you know how many days?
It's not even a week, is
That's
it?
what I'm saying. That's why I said days, not weeks.
It's not even a week. Because didn't that happen like last week?
I want to say it was like towards the end, like a
Towards the end of
Thursday or something.
it
I don't
feels like-
remember.
It was, unless it's, you know what? It might have been actually exactly a week. Because it felt like it was in the beginning of last week where the whole fucking, the Board of Peace shit started.
Well, if it was the beginning of last week, it's still not. Because remember, this is what, day 4 or 5 already of attacking Iran or something like that? Or 2, 3?
Oh yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't even think it was a week then.
Oh,
I mean, I don't remember specifically the day that they did that shit with the Board of Peace, but
it just popped into my head right now. I just wanted to,
yeah,
because I didn't want to make it seem like a joke, but
no, but I mean, it's fucking one way or another, it's fucking crazy. But like, here, I put a timeline for you right there. You could read
All right,
read
cool.
it as I say it. So, July 2015. This is towards the end of Obama's term. World powers and Iran announced a long-term comprehensive nuclear agreement that limits Tehran's enrichment of uranium in exchange for lifting of economic sanctions. Basically, I think we were withholding some of the money that was going into Iran, and as a compromise, we decided that we were going to give them back their money, or let them get their money, as long as they didn't enrich their uranium. The nuclear deal collapses. This is already when Trump is in power. 2 years into his fucking into his first term, May 8th, 2018. Trump unilaterally withdraws the U.S. from the nuclear agreement, calling it the worst deal ever. He says he'll get better terms in new negotiations to stop Iran's missile development and support for regional militias. Those talks don't happen in his first term. They don't happen in his first term. All right. April 16, 2021, Iran begins enriching uranium up to 60%, its highest purity ever, and a technical step from weapons grade levels of 90%.
Hold on real quick, because I noticed you did skip a date. May 8th, 2019, Iran announces it will begin backing away from the Accord, a series
absolutely.
of regional attacks on land and at sea blamed on Tehran follow.
Yeah. So a year later, essentially, Iran, after a year later, after the U.S. pulled us from that nuclear deal, Iran decided, fuck it, we're gonna start enriching. So
More than 2 years. It's 2 years actually, from 19 to 21, right?
no, from 18 to 19.
Oh yeah. I see where you're at now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So April 16, they begin to enrich. March 7th of 2025, this is already second term. Trump says he sent a letter to Khamenei. I think that's what. Khamenei. You know what? I'm fucking butchering it. I'm sorry. Seeking a nuclear deal with Tehran. April 7, 2025, Trump announces U.S. and Iran will hold direct talks in Oman. Iran says there'll be indirect talks, but confirms the meeting. April 12th through May 23rd of 2025, U.S. and Iran hold multiple direct talks that ultimately lead to no deal. December 28th, 2025, protest breaks out in two major markets in downtown of Tehran after the Iranian rial plunges to a record low, 1.4 million rials to one US dollar. Imagine that depreciation of your currency.
Jesus Christ.
That's fucking crazy. Compounding inflationary pressure and pushing up the prices of food and other daily necessities. January 3rd, Khamenei says rioters must be put in their place in what is seen as a green light for security forces to begin more aggressively putting down. February 28th, 2026, Operation Epic Fury, US and Israel launches attacks on Iran. Iran Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is killed. Along with other senior officials, Iran retaliates with attacks to U.S. military bases in Middle Eastern countries. Total death count as of March 2nd, Iran 555, U.S. 6, 4 injured, Israel 10 killed, hundreds injured. This is all we know as, or what I took note of as of yesterday. That is just fucking ridiculous. Because the first thing that I remember hearing was they don't have a plan. They're all, like, Trump is talking out of his ass, thinking like, oh yeah, we're gonna do it in a little bit. Oh shit, it turns out it's gonna take longer than what we thought. And then his disregard for how serious this is in particular is just very, very fucking infuriating. Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Okay, it's funny because it's not funny. And this is some different, and I don't mean to take it to the Epstein thing, but with the whole Epstein thing being as prevalent as it is, look, it has yet to be proven, but fuck it. The dude's, I'm willing to bet the house, the dude's a fucking rapist. I didn't think you could get much lower than that, but he has no fucking regard for human life at all.
At all.
At all.
At all. Like,
how do you, like, I always like sort of myself, if there's ever a situation where I was in the same room as the president, I would never shake his hand, but I think now I have to because congratulations. How the fuck how do you become worse than a pedophile? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you, like,
do you think that he has like the same like fucking, I don't want to say, I guess the same kind of energy that Dick Cheney has though? Like, is it almost the same as that?
Nah, dude. Dick Cheney, as fucked up as it sounds, I got some respect for the dude. Just that clout, dog. That fucking aura. Right. Trump, there's no respect. It's just, I'm in disbelief. Congratulations. You know what I mean? How are you still in this position despite all the shit that you've done and just like how I understand how he's in this position.
Okay.
I get that. But like this may be very out of pocket.
Yeah.
But at least Hitler cared for the German people.
That is true.
At least his goals at the end of it, aside from, like, look, yeah, he wanted to get rid of the Jews, but he wanted to do it for the German people. Right. Nothing fucking Trump is doing is for anyone but himself.
But himself and maybe like the fucking, and the rich.
At the end of the day, it's still for himself because whoever he helps is benefiting him.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Everyone he puts in power, everyone he's keeping happy is the reason he's still in charge.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's all for his own benefit.
I mean, like, it's just fucking ridiculous. Like, one of the things that I didn't mention this, but like in the first strike that we heard about, which was on what, Saturday?
I believe so. Yeah,
it was on Saturday. They fucking they struck an all girls school in Iran, where when I first saw the fucking report, they were talking about how 40 girls were fucking found dead. The kill count has increased now from that. But these are children who have nothing to do with whatever this guy, like, with this whole conflict. They have nothing to do with it. And these fucking children were just fucking murdered or massacred by us, you know?
You know what kind of the worst part of it is, if you really stop and think about it? Them dying like that is a mercy, knowing what some of these people, including our president, potentially did to living children.
Yeah.
Repeatedly.
It's just like, dude, I don't understand what needs to happen for Congress to take action, you know?
Remember what happened to the dinosaurs? That's what needs to happen.
At this point, I would say, like, fucking have another meteor come over. Like, I'm done. I'm like, get me off this ride, dog. Do I need to eat one of those silicone packets to fucking exit the simulation, or what the fuck?
Tide Pods.
Tide Pods? Do I need to eat one of those to exit the simulation? Because I'm done with the simulation, honestly. Like, if you are someone who likes Trump or someone who still defends Trump to this day, how do you justify the fact that this guy was running on no more wars? He was going to be a peace dove, you know, he wasn't going to do anything. And we're in the Middle East.
Not even just, literally everything he ran on, he has reneged on.
Yeah.
With the very slight exception of the Epstein files. And even that has been very, like, nitpicked and whitewashed.
Yeah.
There was just, I don't remember the number of documents, but apparently they were all withheld because they supposedly named him in acts with underage people. So not just, he's mentioned, like, these were testimonies and stuff like that in the files from survivors, naming him specifically.
Yep.
So
I don't know. I don't know what to say to those people. And the disappointment that I have with Congress in particular is like, why aren't you like fucking moving to do articles of impeachment? Why aren't you doing I think they were trying to put a vote, or they were working on a bill to I don't know if it was to undo the War Powers Act.
Yeah, I think so.
Or something like that, where basically they're trying to rein power away from, or take power away from him as far as like how he can do, authorize strikes, or not authorize, but just basically he can't be doing the stuff that he's doing right now. And so I'm just like, Congress, why isn't this like, why wasn't this done yesterday? Like we're already in the thick of it right now. We need to fucking get the fuck out of this. We literally were we were in the Middle East for 20 fucking years. My whole fucking like, what is it? Essentially almost like half of my life was invested in that.
Well, if you think about it more, because you were born alive in the 90s,
yeah,
and there was Desert Storm
there
and
was
all that
Desert
shit.
Storm and all this stuff. So
through basically our entire lives, we've been at war with the Middle East off and on.
yeah,
And for the majority of it on.
Yeah. And so then like why the fuck are we back here again? Look, like if you don't care about the little girls that were murdered in that school and all the poor innocent civilians that are getting fucked over right now because of the strikes that are happening, I get it. There's not a lot of there are not a lot of emotions for you to like give out. I mean, like I personally myself, I'm pretty much like exhausted from all of this fucking shit that's been going on. Like I was told about the strikes and about the strikes. I heard about the fucking the girls, like the girls' school getting fucking struck down, and I'm just like, that's fucked up. But that was as far as I fucking went, Like I'm just like, I'm tired. I've heard about we Palestinians are still getting fucked over right now, and they're getting fucked over even more now because of the tensions. Because Israel is the one who's committing the strikes as well on this fucking bullshit, right? So like, I understand if you don't feel maybe angry or you don't feel too much. You're probably just self-defense mechanism where you're defending your emotions and everything like that. But how can you be okay with the current situation when the president is okay with sacrificing your sons and daughters for the enrichment of himself and other wealthy people? Because we gain nothing from this. We, the American people, we won't see anything from what's going on. If they get all that fucking oil, you might see cheaper gas prices maybe, but even then some.
We're already seeing more higher gas prices.
Higher gas prices because of this fucking whole thing. And let's say you don't have kids and you don't care about the American citizens, the American youth that's being sent over to fucking to die for this bullshit. Then the tax money that's going in to fucking fund this war, your money is going to this. If you hate paying taxes, guess what? This is the reason. This is ultimately the reason why you hate it, because your money is not going back to you.
It just makes me think of like so many different like Reddit posts about what's going on, and it became like this. I dare call it just almost a meme in the comments.
Yeah,
where it's like, oh shit, Iran's about to find out why we don't have free healthcare.
Jesus. Yep. That's the reason why we don't have free healthcare.
And that's, you know what, like how you said, if you don't feel bad, because I honestly I had that same thought, like, wow, that's bombing a girls' school, that sucks. And that was kind of the extent of it. And it bothers me to say this and even feel this way, but it's like there's so much apathy, because after that I'm like, gas is gonna get expensive.
Yep.
And it's just not that I'm not gonna speak for everyone, but I like, not that I don't care. It's just been here, done that. Like it's like, and
it's like we're back here again,
and it's, that's the worst part about it. It's like hearing that news about the girls' school. It's like even something like that. It's like been there, done that. You know what I mean? Like it's terrible.
Mm-hmm. In the same way that we hear about a mass shooting, happening here in the U.S. It's
gotten to the point where we've had a couple already, and we barely talk about them now.
There was one that just happened yesterday or something like that, I think, or was it in Texas?
Yeah, they're kind of talking about that one a lot because I think he's like Iranian.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
That's the only reason why they're talking
about it. That's what I'm saying. But even then, I don't hear much about it either.
Yeah, but like typically if it ends up being like a white male, they'll just kind of like, let's put it under the waves. Like let's not focus too much on it. Unless it's something special, like if they happen to be trans or they happen to be, a person of color, then that's when they fucking start, doubling down on it and just start going more into detail about it. But yeah, it's gotten to that point where like honestly, like I'm tired of this. Like we need to move on from this bullshit. We need to fucking like, because not only does this affect us, it affects the whole fucking rest of the world. Oil prices are not just going up for us; they're going up for the rest of the world, because we are literally fucking up the whole system that they have for fucking oil exportation and shit like that, and everyone's affected. So here we are pissing off our allies by doing something stupid that nobody asked for. Nobody asked for this shit to happen.
Did you hear that France for the first time in like, I think 20 some odd, if not 30 some odd years since the Cold War, they've announced that they're going to start building nuclear weapons again.
I don't blame them.
And they're like, and they said it's like because we do not have faith in the U.S. anymore.
Yeah.
And they've told other European countries is like, we will take that place. We will build up our arsenal, and you will, we will help protect you guys because we don't know.
We've become so fucking like.
What I'm gonna say is probably gonna be, take it however you want. I mean this not in an anti-Semitic way, but Israel needs to go. I'm not saying as a country, I'm saying as an ally. Because the United States, we are not a country. We're a fucking attack dog. That's all we are. That's all we've ever been. They need to go. We need to separate ourselves from them.
You know what?
That's what this is all about right now.
And you know what? I was on that sort of like, to jump off from what you just said. Anti-Semitism has been on the rise ever since fucking Israel has been pushing to fucking do a genocide in Palestine, and everything that we've been doing so far, as far as like within the past like 2 years of Trump's presidency, and even before that, even when with fucking with Biden basically allowing Netanyahu to do fucking all the shit that he's been doing, we have been making our own like the perception of Americans more unfavorable, and this ultimately makes the rest of the world an unsafe place for American citizens. In the same way that the actions of Netanyahu and fucking Israel has been making the rest of the world unsafe for Jews, with the rise of anti-Semitism and hate towards Jewish people because of just association of being, associated to Jewishness, and Jewishness being associated to Israel. You get me? Even though there's a lot of Jews that are not okay with what Israel's doing. In the same way that there are a lot of Americans that are not okay with what America's doing. But ultimately, the actions that our governments are currently taking are making the rest of the world very unsafe for us. And there will be a time, if things continue the way that they are right now, where we will be barred from going anywhere. Where if we go to a foreign country, we will probably be treated like shit. We could potentially even be murdered. We've made a bunch of fucking enemies. And I remember, I think it was in the Philip DeFranco video that we were hearing, a lot of fucking like immigration has started going on the rise. People are fucking leaving Iran. People are leaving the bordering areas as well. And you know what? That just made me think about like how the U.S. in particular, how they like to complain about immigration, right? Even though this country has been built by immigrants, immigrant blood, sweat, and tears. A lot of the immigrants is like, as far as like immigration that comes from the South, immigration that comes from overseas, like from
real quick. You said, a lot of this is built on blood, sweat, fucking lives, bro.
Yeah.
People's lives.
Immigrant.
Fucking to build this country.
Yes,
Not just blood, sweat, and tears. It was fucking.
Yeah.
And not always like, I guess I wouldn't call them immigrants like the slaves and stuff, but it wasn't. It was not always by choice. And even like when you have I don't mean to go on that rant, but you know what I mean? Like the Chinese immigrants building the railroads and shit. Like,
yeah.
It was work that they had to take, but it was not it's all. I just want to stress it was not it was fucking work.
It was a lot
to get to where we are.
Yes, it still is, and it's all been exploitative labor.
Yeah,
that's what it's always been. Like it's been built on exploitation. I think that's what
if fucking Trump wasn't somewhat smart enough to like rein in the ICE raids on farms, we'd be fucked.
Yeah,
we would be fucked.
Yeah. So I guess but on the topic of immigration, because that was one of the things that we saw in the video, and I was thinking about. Every time you have an influx of immigration that comes from one of the neighboring countries around here, the reason why there's been so much immigration, not only just because our country is fundamentally inviting it, because that's what we've always been about. This country has been about, we have a fucking Statue of Liberty, which is exactly for that, for the European.
The French should take it back.
Yeah, the French are going to take it back. Yeah,
they should.
But why was there such an influx of fucking immigration from the South? Because during the Cold War, we fucked those areas up through sanctions, through fucking meddling in their own fucking civil wars. When we get fucking people coming from the Middle East or from Africa or from somewhere around in that area, it's because we fucking stuck our finger on their pie and fucking destabilized their area. So these people are coming over here looking for a better life. We haven't helped the situation in any sort of way. Cubans are suffering because we have a whole fucking buttload of sanctions on them. They can't take part in global trade because we are fucking them over. A lot of this shit is our fault, and then we complain about about how the influx of immigrants. You know what? It's the least we should do, considering how fucked up our country has been towards them. The meddling that we've had, and all of these fucking global fucking events that have been happening. Things that we have no fucking reason to be a part of. You get me? And so you want immigration to stop? Stop fucking with their fucking economies, dude. Stop fucking with their fucking with their elections. Stop trying to fucking like Venezuela. The Venezuela shit didn't have to happen. You know, all this other bullshit. Like all of this effort to try to like make sure that we have allies that not even allies, puppets that we can control in other countries while they're destabilizing their own fucking like their countries. It's fucking us over. But going back to the topic of this the war in Iran, like I said, we're fucking over our allies, and this is an example. I'm gonna play a video for you guys. You will probably end up hearing the audio, but me and John are watching this little YouTube short.
By the way, if the Strait of Hormuz closes, Japan is cooked. They're even in a worse predicament than China. The Japanese government has stated that they have 254 days of oil reserves. If the Strait of Hormuz is closed for an extended period due to the ongoing war, it will be a very serious problem for Japan's economy. Also, the Japanese government, or at least not the fucking pliant leadership in Japan that are America dick riders and Israel dick riders, but the rest of the Japanese government has been losing their fucking minds because America did not even give them a prior notice that they were striking Tehran. And there are Japanese nationals in Tehran. So we're not even abiding by previous long-standing security arrangements that we have with some of our most consequential fucking allies. And not only that, if Iran ends up successfully closing off the Strait of Hormuz, they destroy all of Japanese energy. But hey, M is real high, right? Let's go, baby. Fucking nuclear warfare. Fuck it. Destroy the planet for Israel. Let's go.
Like I said, they need to go.
Yeah. Like we don't need to have that right now.
They're the toxic friend. They're the toxic partner.
The toxic partner, yeah.
It's time to break up.
We need to, like, you know what? It's time we take the national healthcare that Israel has for its citizens. Like, it's time that we take all that funding that we gave them back to us so that we can have nationalized healthcare. Because fucking Israel has been living on our dime.
Bro, they're God's chosen people. Let God take care of them.
I know exactly. They're chosen. Fuck it. Let their God take care of them. Fuck that shit. They have a benevolent fucking figure that's gonna take care of them. No, fuck this shit. I'm sorry. It's like the South Park episode on the fucking COVID special where Israel saves a day by bringing in COVID vaccines because the COVID vaccine shortage here in the U.S. You get me?
I never seen it, but
that's one of the things. It's like, oh my God, we're getting COVID vaccines from Israel, and it's like literally helicopters coming in to fucking South Park delivering. Like, that's how fucking absurd this shit is, dog. And I must reiterate, this is not hate on Jewish people. It's, to me personally, it's my fucking distaste for the way that the Israeli government has been acting and how this has been just basically just to further the goal of fucking, whether it be Netanyahu or some sort of fucking right-winged president or prime minister, whatever the fuck they have in Israel. You get me? Like, no.
I think he's prime minister, right?
But I believe it's prime minister. But the whole point
care.
is, like, we don't need to do this. No. Like, we are fucking up our own allies. We're fucking ourselves up just for what? For nothing. For something that not even like your typical American citizen's gonna reap any sort of reward for.
No, we always just get the shit into the stick.
We get the shit. We invest for it, but we get no returns, basically. And so I just, no, this needs to stop. We can't do another fucking 20, 30 years of this bullshit again.
I agree with you, but also this is what we get. This is what we deserve.
Is this the end of American imperialism?
No, it's not even no, because I don't think with technology now and all this other bullshit, I don't think we're going for imperialism. I think it's just, I think I mentioned it on this, like on a previous episode. I think we're just gonna, the end goal is to try to end up like, did you ever watch Ready Player One?
Oh yeah, to have like a perpetually subservient class that just ends up working. I mean, I don't know. I'm just like, I thought that we were gonna, like, you know, the Epstein files were gonna be like the top of the, that was it. You know, it can't get worse than this.
I mean, because I think back to what was it, 08 and stuff like that, when all that bullshit happened. and then we're like, oh no, like we have to bail out the banks and all this stuff. If we don't learn from that, and I say we, like you and I at that time weren't of an age to really be able to do shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at that point, if people weren't waking up you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
it's just complacency.
Yeah. And that's the thing too that I'm thinking about too, because like, okay, like I know that we've mentioned it before, but like let's assume that 2028 comes in, there's a fucking by the end of 2026 we end up getting a fucking blue wave across Congress and we have an opposition. But let's assume that it's all mostly just fucking like, I don't want to say the word mainstream Democrats, but like corporate bot Democrats, just like your typical fucking liberal bullshit Democrats, not leftists. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up just basically doing the bare minimum to kind of correct whatever fucking, or to even like the bare minimum to fucking oppose or even stop Trump from doing whatever he's doing. But then after that, they'll do such a fucking horrible job that come 2028, we're just back at it again in the same situation.
So, okay, this term for Trump is supposed to end what year?
2028, I believe.
2028, right? I think, honestly, no matter what happens after this, if he's gone, and if it's like a Democrat, unless something radical fucking happens in this country, I really kind of think that all this bullshit is going to have been going on for, the 4 years or whatever, that people again are just going to get complacent with it and used to it, and there will be no need for change or reform, because that seems to be the cycle.
Yeah, I've lost all fucking confidence with our government.
We need, like, it's going to sound horrible, but we need more Americans to die for people to care.
Yeah.
Like, we need fucking starving kids in the street.
Yeah,
because,
that's essentially...
because prices are too crazy.
Yeah.
Like, people need their children to die in their arms.
Yeah, in order for them to actually fucking, like...
Yeah.
It's like,
and I'm not saying that to be cruel, but at this point, I honestly don't know, because there's a shitload of people fucking seemingly, like, okay having a potential child rapist leading this country. You know what I mean? So if that's not enough to deter, I would imagine maybe your child dying might be. I don't know at this point.
On the topic of this child rapist,
which one?
Trump.
I guess for legal reasons, alleged.
Yeah, for legal reasons, alleged rapist, child rapist. We talked off the stream, or off the recording, how he basically has no fucking respect for the dead, no regard for life and everything like that. He recently was like out giving awards, right, Medal of Honors to soldiers, and also he was giving like a moment of silence for the 6 fucking fallen soldiers that died in this fucking stupid strike that they did. And the motherfucker just could not keep away from, this was supposed to be a celebration for these people. He couldn't stop himself from going to talking about himself or something that he's doing. The Board of Peace fucking meeting was all about him.
Yeah.
Every fucking thing that he does ends up being about him. Like, you can't expect him to talk about the world stage, because he'll somehow fucking just turn it back on him. I'm the one who's been doing this. I've been doing that. Everyone has been against me. Yada, yada, yada. It was this bullshit, right? So there's like a little 2-minute video that I found that is basically him. His speech is from PBS News, and it says Trump talks about Drape's future ballroom constructions of Medal of Honor ceremony.
At Medal of Honor.
At Medal of Honor ceremony. So
we have a lot of great service members here with us too, in this beautiful building. Isn't it beautiful? We're adding on to the building a little bit. We're improving the building. See that nice drape? When that comes down right now, you see a very, very deep hole. But in about 1.5 years from now, you're going to see a very, very beautiful building. And there's your entrance to it right there. In fact, it looks so nice, I think I'll save money on the doors, because it can't get more beautiful than that. I picked those drapes in my first term. I always like gold, but I think we can save a lot of money. I just saved curtains. But and it'll be spectacular. It'll be the most beautiful ballroom. I believe it, because I built many a ballroom. I believe it's going to be the most beautiful ballroom anywhere in the world. And when you hear all that hammering out there, you know why the First Lady is not thrilled exactly. She said, will the pile drivers ever stop? You know, they go from 6 in the morning till 11:30 in the evening. Can you imagine? Here? You know what? To me, that's a beautiful sound. She doesn't like it. I love it. You know what? To me, other than here, because we're donating it, not a penny to the taxpayer. It'll be under budget, ahead of schedule. It'll be 400 million or less. Most people say 400 million or more. No, it'll be less. But when I hear that sound, that beautiful sound behind me, it means money, so I like it. But my wife isn't thrilled. She said, this is getting crazy. I said, don't worry about it. We'll be all finished up in a few months.
For starters, I don't even think Melania
But now
talks
for
like
the
that.
reason that we're gathered
I don't think she
this
talks to
morning
him.
to recognize the unsurpassed courage of 3 really incredible American heroes, 1 living and 2 no longer with us.
Whenever I see shit like this, and I can't help but like think this is literally the same bullshit that Biden did, and everyone would fucking lose their minds.
Right.
Like you know what I mean? Like how, like that's why a lot of this shit is like, it's not even about politics. We're in high school again.
Yeah.
That's all we're in fucking high school, and it's just 2 different cliques.
It's no longer
This isn't politics.
It's no longer become about the policies. It's become about the politics, about how he presents, his side. And that's just getting annoying. It's getting tiring. It's like, I need you guys to start focusing on shit that we need worked on, here in this country. And these fuckers aren't doing any of that. It's fucking ridiculous. It's annoying, honestly.
I kind of want him to build that stadium in front of the White House.
The stadium?
Yeah, that for the UFC fight or whatever the fuck he keeps talking about.
Jesus.
I kind of want him to do that.
Good God.
Like, I'm not even saying that as a joke. I kind of want it to happen.
So that he can duke it out with something. Like we put the presidents, dude. We have the old president fight the new coming president.
No,
or the challengers.
Because, like, in my head, I wanted to happen for him to have like this, his, for whatever the UFC, whatever the fuck, and whoever comes in after just turns into like homeless shelter or some shit like that.
What?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Just something like, or like a refugee for incoming.
Wait, is this fucking ring like outside?
It's supposed to be like an arena or some shit. Yeah,
but it's outside of the fucking White House, not in the White House property.
No, it's a fucking venue.
Jesus Christ!
Like a Staples Center type of, or like a Madison Square.
DC doesn't need that.
Not in front of the White House, at least.
Not in front of the White House, yeah, at least.
I'm pretty sure that was the plan, or they kept talking about this, some bullshit like that.
That's just fucking ridiculous, dude. DC doesn't need that. I
also can't wait for the Olympics. I want to see how that plays out. I really hope a lot of countries boycott it. I really fucking do.
I don't think they will.
Won't. I know, because they're fucking pussies.
I don't think they will. I legitimately don't think they will.
I don't know if I should.
I kind of wish that that was kind of like the. I kind of wish that was the action that was taken, but I don't think they will.
I have like a thought or feeling, and like I'm hesitant to say it because I don't want like all of a sudden like it to happen, and then fucking for whatever reason the FBI fucking listens to this episode.
Right.
But like, I don't know. I'll just say I would not be surprised if there was some sort of attack during the Olympics or even the World Cup, because we got both of them.
I mean, given everything that's been happening, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I legitimately wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I have that actually happened, because quite frankly, we escalated. We
which sucks because a lot of the games for both World Cup and the Olympics are here in LA.
Yep.
So.
We have essentially escalated something that we shouldn't have fucking touched. Like, we poked something that we shouldn't have poked for no fucking reason. And it's always that same fucking thought. It's only gonna be a week or two and stuff. Nope. That's just gonna take a long time. So Congress needs to get their asses need to be fucking get it on, like fucking take that power back and make sure you don't fucking lose it. Hold on to it, because quite frankly, we can't be doing this shit anymore. Good God. I'm surprised, like legitimately surprised that we're back at this again. How long had it been since we fucking left Afghanistan?
Obama's the one that did it, wasn't he?
No, it was Biden actually. So like not even 6 years.
So not even a decade.
Not even a decade, dude. And we're back at it again. And the crazy thing is,
and we didn't win, because isn't the Taliban in charge?
Yeah.
We didn't fucking win.
We didn't fucking win. What was that? Vietnam 2, basically?
We had this talk. I thought it was Korea. Cause
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because that's like, we didn't lose that because it wasn't a war. It was a conflict.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We have nothing to show for as far as like what Afghanistan was. Iraq, the same thing too. We just destabilized the area. That's it.
That's kind of what we do. I don't know that we're great at winning wars, but we're good at fucking up countries.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like we just stabilize shit. And then in the end, we end up paying the price because what ends up happening is we end up using if we end up siding with one of the side, like if there's a country that's going through civil war, we end up siding with one side, right? That we feel like we can puppet to our own fucking benefit. They learn all of our tactics. This is what happened with fucking, what's his name? Osama bin Laden. We teach him our tactics. They get so fucking good at what they do that eventually you start doing shit against them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, we were fighting the Russians.
I mean, yeah, I get that. But I mean, like, it's stuff,
No, I know.
But it's stuff like that we end up fucking, like, we end up shooting ourselves. What weapons did they use against us? Our own. What tactics did they use against us? Our own.
It popped into my head. You know that meme of the guy riding a bicycle and
then putting the stick in? Yeah.
So I was thinking about that. I think the guy riding the bike is the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
and I think the stick is Israel.
Pretty much. But honestly, I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Me neither.
I'm
I'm trying to think of happy stories and I cannot.
I'm gonna move us on to something else. Moving away from the bad stuff. There's a little something that I ended up hearing about today, and this is from Scientific American. Neanderthals and human interbreeding tended to follow a specific pattern.
Ooh,
So for
doggy style.
so interbreeding between the Neanderthals and ancient anatomically modern humans primarily occurred between male Neanderthals and female humans, a new study suggests. Most people today have little Neanderthal DNA sprinkled in through their genome. These genomic signals are the telltale signs that overlapping populations of ancient anatomically modern humans and Neanderthals had sex. Exactly what these interactions look like is a mystery, but a new study suggests that when our species and Neanderthals did interbreed, it was primarily between male Neanderthals and anatomically modern female humans. So what they're saying is that because they ended up having a lot of like the pattern, I think that they ended up finding was that there was a lot of females that were having basically Neanderthal kids. So and because the Neanderthals ultimately ended up dying out, there wasn't really like, because there weren't a lot of male humans having sex with Neanderthal women, so there wasn't a lot of like leftover Neanderthal DNA in our genome. There's like segments of it, but it's like very small traces basically.
I was gonna say, fun fact, I did that 23andMe many moons ago.
Uh-huh.
Guess who has Neanderthal in them?
You do?
Fuck yeah, baby.
But anyway, so yeah, so we basically, there was interbreeding between Neanderthals and humans. So crazy, because I never really would have thought something like that would have happened.
Oh no, I've heard that for like years and years already. But like,
do you think that Neanderthal men were just maybe more brutal or more?
I was gonna say, I don't think it was so much interbreeding as it was rape.
I was thinking that.
Because from my understanding, like, there was competition between, and that's why they're gone, because we just outcompeted them.
Mm-hmm.
And from my understanding of it, they were taller and significantly stronger.
Right.
So, like, as you were saying that, I'm like, that's not interbreeding. I'm pretty sure that was like going in, raping and pillaging kind of deal.
Absolutely. It's either that, because I mean, unless
I could be wrong. I don't know. They could have been fucking great guys. I don't know.
The only other thing that I can think about is that maybe like when human females were selecting for what you call it, for male partners, they probably found the Neanderthals to be more secure. Because you know how a lot of times, like, like in the animal kingdom, and I'm talking about like back then, like the females tend to look for what you call it, for security with their male partners.
I know what you mean, like the stronger male.
A stronger male. They want someone like if they're gonna give it up, they want to give it up to someone who's gonna, or to something that's gonna be powerful and stuff like that. So I would assume that the Neanderthals probably were basically that for for the women because like I mean they were significantly more powerful than us.
But I don't, because my thing is like they're still both genetically different. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like you being like Salvadorian and stuff like that, you're still like the same species of like of someone from Africa. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like where like humans, us as we know them, like they're saying you're not necessarily genetically the same as Neanderthals.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the only kind of hesitation I have to like what you're saying, because it would be almost like a dog intentionally picking a wolf. You know what I mean? Like yeah, they can interbreed, but like I you know what I mean?
I see where you're
Like
going with that.
I don't
yeah.
know. I can't come up with a better example.
I can see where you're going.
And the only other reason I say that too is because like again they were outcompeted and they died off.
yeah.
So that, you know what I mean? And the reason we are where we are is because no matter what, brain won over brawn. So I think even I don't know. I'm just saying like the modern female at that time was smart enough. I think, you know, yeah, what you're saying makes sense, but being smart enough to be like these people that are building like societies and shelters and fires and shit like that ultimately are the safer bet. It's not, you know, it stops being about strength and all that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's because that only got them so far.
That is very true. Yeah. Well,
because I would imagine, why wouldn't it work both ways, where you had just the modern human male just banging it out with Neanderthal females? You know what I mean?
because the Neanderthal females were probably like, nah, these guys are fucking betas. Fuck that shit.
Nah, dog, snoo, bro. No, but you know what I mean? Because you would, isn't it where like typically genetically the female has the more dominant traits?
If that were the case, then that mean that there would be what are that? Oh, you know what? You're right.
Because we're all inherently born female, and
yes,
then
yes,
you know
yes,
what I mean.
Yeah.
Like so, like you know, like that. I don't know. That's my thinking on it.
Mhm,
I'm not a scientist yet. So
Yet.
I'm a Roanoke game this shit, bro. I'm gonna just start.
You're gonna go to college. It's like, yeah, I watch a lot of Roanoke gaming. I know a lot about science.
Just one day, I'm like, Will, this is now a science podcast. You're welcome to stay. If not, there's the door.
There's a door. Yeah, but that was something that I found interesting that read essentially, because like it was just like, okay, like I mean I remember hearing about the possibility that you know that there was interbreeding between Neanderthals and humans, but like for them to finally say like, oh no, it probably was more male Neanderthals than human females is fucking interesting, because I mean like shit. It begs to question, or like it begs to like to kind of like question, like, was it consensual?
Yeah,
was
I
it
don't-
like,
I
you
don't think
know?
so.
And it's like in my head, I'm like, probably not. They probably took them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're
They
probably trophies and shit. So it's like it's fucking brutal, dog. Fucking extremely brutal. But moving on to something else from that, a celebration for Puerto Ricans. Actually, I think this is a really good thing for them, at least for Bad Bunny. But according to Rolling Stone, more than 4 billion people watched Bad Bunny's Super Bowl performance
within the
24 hours. So the halftime show reportedly set a global.
Wait,
viewership-
isn't that technically kind of like half the fucking world?
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts,
That's
bro.
fucking nuts, dude. Dude,
That's crazy.
that's what I'm saying. So the halftime show reportedly set a global viewership record across live broadcasts, YouTube, and social media. On Monday, the NFL Rock Nation, which co-produced the show, and Apple Music, the halftime show's main sponsor, revealed that Bad Bunny's performance garnered 4.157 billion views in 24 hours. Those figures included the global broadcast numbers, as well as views on YouTube and social media platforms. The broader viewership stats were released after Nielsen Big Data Plus panel revealed that Bad Bunny's halftime show drew 128.2 million viewers during the live Super Bowl broadcast in the US. That made it one of the most watched performances in Super Bowl history, just behind Kendrick Lamar's record-setting show from last year, which drew 133.4 million viewers. So he was like fucking what? 3.2 million shy. Oh, no. Sorry. 5.2 million shy from being as close to like Kendrick Lamar's performance.
And that was last year?
That was last year. So honestly, props to Bad Bunny. Fucking like
How many viewers did the Kid Rock show have?
I don't give a fuck about that shit. Didn't you hear he was making some fucking gay porn video with fucking Robert Kennedy, dog?
It was a workout video.
Bro, that's how all gay porn starts. And trust me, dog, I know.
It was funny because before I had heard all that, I had been seeing those clips. I'm like, at first I thought it was like AI,
Mm-hmm.
and then like it kept showing up, and then finally I read something. I was like, okay, and I thought it was AI, and I could be mistaken, but like he's on Kennedy's on a bicycle, right?
Yeah.
Shirtless.
Yeah.
But isn't he wearing his fucking pants still?
Yes.
Okay,
It looks like jeans. I don't know if it's pants or jeans.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, I call jeans pants. Sorry. That's why I thought it was AI at first. I'm like, why the fuck is he in a sauna on a fucking bike in Levi's?
Right? I'm telling you, dude, that was gay porn, dog. It's always been that. That's how it starts off.
It's the brainworms, dude.
Can you imagine? Actually, it is the brainworms made him gay into a closeted homo. Good God, I
They're
can't.
putting worms in the Kennedys to make them gay. Sorry, that feels wrong on this podcast. I'm sorry.
Honestly, I think it's we need it because considering what we talked about earlier, I would like to laugh at least once. But I mean, like on a back to Bad Bunny. Like I'll be honest, I don't listen to his music. I don't listen to his music. I saw a little bit of the fucking the halftime
So
show.
you're racist.
No, how the fuck did you extrapolate that? But I mean, like I watched it. It was a good show. I'm not gonna say that it wasn't. But I mean, also like he ended up bringing in people from fucking businesses, like local business, or I don't know if it was like local businesses or at least like fucking Latino businesses that like ended up getting some sort of like fucking like
Yeah, there's that taco or
the
whatever.
taco.
Yeah, that
there was
fucking blew
also
up
the
and shit.
jewelry
Yeah, a
person
couple.
and all that stuff. So like there's a bunch of stuff. And the house supposedly that they used for for in the beginning of it, I think it's a house in Puerto Rico or something like that. And I heard something about there being a lawsuit about it where like the homeowner was like suing Bad Bunny because of the likeness of the house and shit like that. To me, that's bullshit. It's like
Okay, the only thing I can, if this is their argument and this is what's like legit happening, I get that. Because like the Breaking Bad house, fucking people showing up, throwing the pizza. I get that. One, that's a kind of different because if you buy that house, you have to fucking
you have to.
But like if that's the situation where people are just going to the house all of a sudden, that is kind of shitty.
Yeah.
But if that's not the situation, then yeah, go fuck yourself.
I don't believe that that's the situation yet because it could potentially be. But the whole point is that they approached the person, and I think that he sold basically his rights to the what you call it, not to the property, but to the
likeness.
to the
Then
likeness.
no, fuck them
So,
anyway.
so he's fucked one way or
Oh yeah,
another.
no, fuck them.
He's fucked in one way or another. And then he's claiming that he was what's the word? He was misled into signing the contract because he didn't really understand the contract.
That's why you can't trust Latinos.
And it's like, well, I mean, that's kind of your fault, isn't it? Like, why did you sign a contract that you didn't, you know? That's like, you must assume all contracts have some sort of fucking like gotcha to them. That's why you have to take your time and read them or get someone that can read them for you.
I don't. You know what? I wouldn't even surprise me if there was no gotcha thing. It's just they seen money.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'll sign whatever. And then, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't be, look, I'm just speculating. I wouldn't not be surprised if someone got in the room like, you probably could have gotten more.
Yeah. Or something like
and
that.
Yeah. But
yeah,
whatever.
I totally can understand that. But I mean, like ultimately fucking went to fucking Bad Bunny. Like the dude.
He had that couple that got married on there too.
Oh, that is right. Yeah.
Do you know the story behind that?
No.
So that couple, I don't know the details of it. For whatever reason, like they hit him up. This was like a minute ago, inviting him to their wedding, right? And I don't know if he went or whatever, but that's the same couple that invited him.
Right.
So they were already married, but they just
kind of
everything.
like redid it in the.
So that was the point of that.
Yeah.
Because they had invited him.
That's fucking crazy. One thing I will say about the show though, did you end up seeing it?
I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it? Well, I don't know if you know that Lady Gaga
Yeah, she
comes
sang.
out.
Yeah.
She sings
That's
that.
like I know that because that's like the Republican side was like, oh, at least that was in English. That's how I know she sang.
But anyhow, I don't know if she was prepared for it or if maybe they just kind of did it on the whim. But like, she was trying to dance to the music and she just couldn't. because they did like a fucking like
Well, maybe they just told her just do your thing.
probably, but she was very excited though. At least her
'Cause
stage presence was very very excited to be
Because
there.
I don't like, yeah, like I know she does the choreography, but even her choreography, like from what I remember, like some of the videos I've seen, like it's not even like dancing. It just reminds me of like voguing
Yeah,
more than
kind of like that.
anything.
Yeah,
So maybe that's just her, bro.
yeah, it could be, but like you could tell that she was excited and she was really, or at least her presentation was that she was really really excited to be there.
Every time I would 100% go to one of her concerts.
Yeah.
Because it just, yeah, every time I've seen her perform, she just seems like she's really into it.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
it's just the fucking passion seems to always be there.
But like, yeah, that shit was like, I don't know. Like I've had, I like if you had a problem with it just because it was in Spanish, you didn't understand the music. You don't need to listen to the music or to the lyrics in order for you to like a song.
You know how I know that it had nothing to do with the song being in Spanish? Because I don't even remember how many years ago this was, but for quite a while, that fucking song Gangnam Style was the
Yep.
most popular thing ever.
Yep.
And that was, I believe, if you look into it, he used to be kind of like almost like a North Korean like sympathizer. Like he was pretty radical back in the day, Psy, I believe.
I honestly don't know much
If
about
I
it.
remember correctly, he was not very like Western America friendly in the beginning.
Right.
So
Well, I mean, it's a perversion of fucking like
I'm not trying to throw shade or anything, but I'm just saying, like, if,
yeah.
like I said before, you look deep enough with people, like a lot of people, you're gonna find shit. I'm just saying, everyone seemed to love that song.
Yep. And that song was not in English. So what's the difference here?
Yeah, administration.
The administration, yeah. And just like the overall messaging that's being said about, others.
And the other thing too is like he is technically a U.S. citizen,
Yes.
whereas like the majority of other like really popular and halftime shows have been The Who, U2, fucking God bless, I can't didn't the Rolling Stones do a fucking halftime show?
I honestly don't know.
But there's quite a few that are not motherfucking citizens.
Yeah. Like these
You
are
know
all
what I mean?
artists
So,
that are
yeah.
we're not fucking
But
like.
they're white, so it's okay.
But yeah. That's the reason why they're Brits, or they're fucking like they're. What was it? Where's fucking Bono from?
No, there was one a black guy that wasn't who the fuck was it now that you say? I forgot who it was. I believe.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't remember who it was either. But there was one too. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know he was an American.
Oh no, I don't know. But I mean, that's the thing is like he's an American citizen. One way or another, he's just singing in Spanish, and just fucking suck it, dude. I don't care. Like don't
Look, bro,
don't-
Spanish is like one of the fastest. I think might be the fastest like growing language in the world. So get fucking used to it.
yeah.
It was Chinese for a bit,
Mhm.
right? And that should have been killing all those fucking daughters and shit.
Right. Jesus Christ.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Wait, you know what?
This Mexicans caught up.
Since you kind of mentioned like the Psy, and then I don't know, that just for some reason that made me think about the industrial like music complex that they have over there in South Korea. Dude, that shit is like fucking horrible, dude. Like the way the contracts that they draft for these fucking for a lot of like the bands or the K-pop groups is just fucking disgusting, dude.
They're not contracts. There's another. I mean, they're technically contracts, but it's like almost like it's like an indentured fucking servitude.
It is because like they demand that you go through like some sort of like training for idols, and then that comes out of your pocket. It doesn't like the labels aren't paying for that shit. And then apart from that, you are under like fucking like you have to do so much.
You don't have a life.
You don't have a life, yeah. Like you can't live your own life. You have to put up this
Very
persona.
restricted diets. You don't really choose what you wear.
Yep.
Who you date, or
You can't
this is not just. This is a small side tangent. This isn't just like for like the South Korean like idol stuff. There's a lot like even in like J-pop, especially with the female talent.
Yep.
They can't openly have relationships because it will fucking destroy their careers.
Because
Shit like that.
it's all built on this whole fucking like selling
Sims.
them.
It's
Yeah.
built on Sims.
Pretty
bro.
much. You're
male and female.
yeah, they're selling themselves. They're selling
The idea,
the illusion,
the fantasy, yeah.
the fantasy that they're for you and they're yours and stuff like that, which is fucking sick and disgusting, honestly. But I mean, all of that money that they're producing is not going to them. It's going to the record labels. It's going to the execs and everything like that. I was thinking about. So I had a friend back in high school who was he was South Korean. And I remember that we were talking about, I don't know, for some reason he was talking that he was listening to K-pop, right? And I'm like, this just sounds like American music, just with fucking like, you know, like Korean lyrics. He's like, but it's so much better than your shit and so forth, et cetera, et cetera. Like, he was so proud about it. And in my head, I'm like, honestly, dude, like this shit was just like, it was more predatory than the fucking music industry here in the US. And it's like, there's nothing original about it.
It's all the same stuff.
It's all the same stuff. Like, I mean, like, it's all music that's been taken from overseas. There's nothing inherently Korean about it, or other than the language, basically. Like, everything else has been influenced, but it has some sort of influence that is either hip hop, R&B, or something of that sort. It's all come from the American fucking side of it. And I'm thinking about it honestly. Like, I want to say that the Western influence that was put on the Southern Korean people was like the worst thing that could have happened to them.
I kind of have like a question, and so like, when did that, like, I guess I don't have a better word other than transition. When did the transition happen from like the only kind of like Asian country people like Westerners seem to originally weave over was Japan? When did that shift to South Korea? Because that, I don't know when that like
honestly, I don't know.
South Korea's always been there, right? But like
Yes.
all of a sudden, it was like, yeah, I started hearing like some K-pop stuff because it started getting like, you know, and then all of a sudden I'm like, Netflix just has fucking reams of Korean dramas, like everything. Like, I'm like, when the like, I don't even remember ever seeing this much like Japanese media other than anime. That's the only thing in terms of like Japanese media I remember, or I can think of, that was pushed that hard.
Right.
As opposed to like just K-dramas or just Korean television and just media in general.
I think it's the combination of like kids making more friends with like more like Asians or maybe like people outside of like their own race, and then also with the technological advances that we've had, how basically the only way you, like back in like the 2000s, the only way you would be able to see K-dramas here in the US is if you went to a Korean video store and fucking rented it or bought it from there. Now it's just available right there in Netflix. You get me? It's there. You can view it. So like, I think it's a combination of those two that kind of created a fucking a new drive for that. You get me? And then from there, it just kind of like exploded. Because I mean, the only thing that I can remember as far as like Korean music that was like, that really made it big or such an impact to the point how like both male and female idol groups started getting popularity here is BTS.
Yeah.
And other than that, I can't think of anything else. Like, but I mean, these groups have been like slowly getting more and more popular within like the outside of the Asian, you know, groups, because like, you know, it's inevitable. They're going to be making friends with people who are not Asians, and then they're going to probably like, you know.
Okay, since you said that part, the making friends with people that are not Asians, do you think it was one of those situations where the West's fascination with Japan came from Japan's initial fascination with the West? You know what I mean? Like, because Japan is very Western, particularly US influenced.
Yes.
For a lot of reasons, but they seem to very much just kind of latch on to fucking KFC is like this beloved fucking franchise out there. You know what I mean? It's like random, but it is.
Right.
For whatever reason. So do you think like now that South Korea has kind of become more westernized and latched onto that kind of stuff, in terms of being able to produce their own TV shows, movies, and all this other shit, and you know, their idols and all that stuff? Because it seems like they kind of mirrored not that Japan did it like in a intentional way, but like seems like they kind of followed the Japanese like playbook or model of just like, oh shit, like the West has all this cool shit, and now that they've modernized and they've built up and they're I don't want to say like first, second, third world country, but you know what I mean, they're a destination now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You think that helps, that has an influence? Because it's like you you go to somewhere like Korea, it's you're in obviously a different country, but it's still familiar enough. You know what I mean? Like there's
Mhm.
still shit where you're like, oh, that's like here. You know what I mean? Like, oh, there's a Jollibee. Oh, there's a fucking Jollibee back home.
Right,
Kinda
right,
deal,
right,
you know what I
right,
mean? Like
right,
it's
right.
just like it's getting kind of interchangeable now.
I would say that as a whole, America, in a sense, became more open to foreign as the years passed by. They became a little bit more open to like foreign media and stuff like that, to the point where like it is where it is now. But ultimately, the Western influences of, or the effect that the Western influence had in Korea in particular, has essentially shaped the way that even Korean politics or politics are. So like, I mean, like the whole capitalistic system that we ended up implementing in there for them after like the Korean War, or maybe the conflict, whatever you want to call it, basically solidified the power structure that they currently have right now, which is where I think there's like only 5 families that truly control the country. One of them is Samsung, I think, and stuff like that. So like we basically made them what they are, and they were more efficient at fucking. You get
I
me?
mean, it's you say that it's the same fucking exact story for Japan if you think about it.
But Japan though has at least like been able to retain some of its original.
No, yeah, and look, to be fair, Japan had that backbone to begin with,
Mhm.
but nuke the fuck out. You know what I mean? Like we
No,
kind of
no,
reset the country.
We did.
But that's what I mean by
We-
that.
we
We
did.
did that with
and
Japan.
it's not to say that Korea doesn't have its own fucking like uniqueness, or at least didn't retain any of its own. But I mean, we literally in the same way that the American influence or the Western influence fucked over Japan, it fucked over Korea. But I think Korea found a way to fucking make it more efficient for themselves.
Japan and Korea are very rare exceptions where they ended up better
Yeah.
after our interference than most other countries.
Yeah.
Also, I don't mean to take it back to that, but I think I remember reading that Japan is going to start building up their military because they can't rely on us and Godzilla.
I mean, I think they should totally make a Godzilla. Death by Godzilla, dog.
That'd be.
Yeah.
So I'd sell this house, fly to Japan just to fucking die, just to get like squished by Godzilla.
Step on me, Godzilla.
100%.
You know what would happen? I think this is what would happen. Because of how cracked his fucking feet are, you'd probably just like.
Yeah, but the radiation after. I just shit myself to death.
I mean, that is true, yeah.
Which is not very different from having like my fucking 10 tacos and shitting myself. The only thing is I don't die at the end. But it's the same fucking thing. I'm cursed with life after. The Godzilla thing would be a mercy after that. Shit, I don't have to live with a Bernie butthole.
Godzilla's just sitting down waiting for you to put your money into his fucking bowl so he can step on you.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I don't know. Like, I think, shit, I forgot I don't know. I feel like, in a sense, like, the Western influences in a lot of the Asian countries have been kind of like a double-edged sword. Where, yes, there has been prosperity in a sense, but ultimately it does feel like it's almost an oligarchy as well, especially in Korea, where there's like I said, I think there's like 5 families that essentially control the government in there. And
because there's also another Asian country where it's kind of starting to happen. And yes, they're fucking Asian. India. We're starting to get a lot of fucking Indian media now too.
oh, that's been happening for a long time though.
But it's really fucking popular now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's been happening for a minute with Korea, but it seemed like overnight it was just fucking everywhere all of a sudden.
You know what I think it is? It's the fact that the moment that a lot of like the stuff that we end up, because I mean, think about the media that we consume here as like that's either American made or at least Western influence. You know, like maybe it comes from fucking from Britain or something like that. It's like very few, one in a few that are actually really exceptional, and that we end up actually being like, oh shit, this is really good, and we actually end up watching, right? Because like, I mean, when you look at Netflix is just full of fucking like, it's just quantity over quality basically. But I think the stuff that's come, and because of that, it's kind of maybe forced the audiences to kind of look for something else, and so then they're maybe more accepting of watching something that has subtitles.
Well, the stuff I always see, especially when it comes to those Indian movies, especially like those action ones with that one actor, I'm sure you've seen the fucking memes or
Are you
clips
talking about Bollywood in general, like all that shit?
Yeah, shit. To me, I can't see myself sitting down and watching those movies because they're just you know,
They're cheesy as fuck.
yeah, which I don't know, maybe, but every time I hear people talk about them, they're like, nice to be able to watch just a fucking ridiculous movie,
Yeah.
which kind of makes me think it's like that's why no one's fucking going to movies here, bro. Like no one gives and it's the same thing. No one cares about blockbusters anymore. That's why you have shit like Weapons and Sinners just fucking demolishing everything else that comes out. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, shit like fucking -1, bro. Fucking a Japanese movie about a fucking monster, and people would not shut up about that shit. And so it's like, just make something good, bro. It doesn't have to be big and flashy. Just make something good. Make quality.
No, we need to make a big buck, and we need to make sure that it's safe and it's going to sell, even if it's not that great.
You don't need look. You can make a big buck without spending big bucks.
No, but we got to ensure that it actually makes big bucks, though. So, like, we need to
Look,
make
13 million to make shit a fucking -1, and it was almost $100 million return. Come on, dude.
I know. The thing is, it's
I'm
like,
saying like, what was it? Fucking, I forgot how many millions for something like fucking Weapons, and how much did it fucking rake in? Like, yes, you're not hitting billions, but it's not working for you anymore to try to hit billions. So you're losing money fucking trying to hit that.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I get that. I totally understand that.
Like I don't know, dude. Like, and I'm not saying it's a blockbuster issue. It's a franchise issue.
It really is.
Marvel needs to die. Star Wars needs to die.
They really
that one
do.
hurt. That one hurts. The Star Wars one,
Yeah.
that shit hurts, especially because Andor, dude.
If Star Wars dies, poor Andor.
Look, Andor is dead.
I mean, yeah.
His mission's done, bro. He came. He did what he needed to do. You know how fucking good that show. Hold on,
I'm just thinking about how like we literally got together afterwards just to watch the movie after we watched season 2 of Andor.
and it was fucking beautiful.
Fucking amazing, dude. It was so good.
This is how fucking I was very much of that camp of like with everything going on in the world. And this was like kind of early on into Trump's second like term and shit like that, where I'm just like, I don't care. Watching Andor made me care. Watching Andor was the first time I'm like, and I like, this is gonna sound funny and stuff like that, but like that was the first time in any Star Wars media I've watched, and I was like, fuck the Empire. Like that was the one time I was like, I think I would be a rebel.
Yeah.
In my entire life, I was like, fuck the rebels. Stormtroopers look cool. And I'm like, it's not about that. Like, oh, wait, what the fuck? And
This makes me feel things.
it made me care about the humans around me.
Right.
And god damn it, dude. God damn it, dude.
I was trying to avoid that.
That was such a fucking good show, dude.
It was, without a doubt.
And it's not just because it's Star, it's because the fucking writing.
The writing was
I doubt I will experience writing that good again in my lifetime from a show.
I wouldn't necessarily use this podcast to try to like endorse or promote shit like this, but if you haven't, I definitely recommend you watch both season 1 and 2 of Andor, and then afterwards watch Rogue One.
Go into Rogue One.
Because this is essentially a trilogy, and it's a fucking damn good trilogy. You don't need to know anything about Star Wars, even for Rogue One, because I mean, by now I'm pretty sure you already know who fucking Darth Vader is. You already know who's the bad guy, you know. So like, but the just in
arguably, Darth Vader is the most popular Star Wars character there is.
Yeah,
and in Rogue One, he shows up in it, and that's all you need.
Yeah,
like that's all you need to know.
He doesn't need to be like a persistent like you. The antagonist of this movie was phenomenal, and
Ben Mendelsohn, right?
Yeah, and
director Krennic. God, so fucking good, dude.
I know, right? And then like the addition of having Darth Vader come in what was like maybe like not even a minute, right? Just adds to like, I mean, honestly, that was just for the fans.
And it's crazy because it's a reshoot.
Yeah.
It's they redid the opening scene, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like and that's how you do a fucking remake, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
right.
You keep the soul, but you just, and real quick, so this happens in season 2 of Andor. Do you remember when they're in that conference room talking about getting the silk from the spiders and how it's going to...
Right.
You know what that's based off of, right?
No.
That's based off the meeting from some of Hitler's top officials.
Really?
When they were discussing starting to use gas and stuff like that in the concentration camps.
Jesus Christ.
That's what that's based off of. There's a movie called it's a slow movie. It's just talking, but it's about that, where it's just a bunch of Nazis, like high-ranking military officials talking about it, and like the tests that they ran and the effectiveness and stuff like that. And there's a scene in it where they like they just take a break, and some of them like they sneak off to the bathroom and like start throwing up and shit like that. Because hearing about it.
Christ.
But that scene in Under, that's what that's based off of.
Okay.
I forgot what the that conference was called, but yeah.
That's crazy, dude. No, but I mean, like that was an intense scene too, because I mean, it's like they're talking about literally destroying a fucking planet just for
killing
fucking,
a population.
killing a population just for fucking kyber
Resources,
crystals,
yeah.
right? Wasn't it?
It was for the web.
Was it for the web?
It was for the spider web.
I thought it was because there was crystals under and they were using it as a pretense.
No. The crystals came from Rogue One. Remember that planet that they kind of nuke, where Saw Gerrera's at?
Oh,
That's Jeddah.
okay.
That's where the kyber crystals were coming from.
Gotcha. Okay.
No, the Gorman was for the spider thing. Because remember Gorman, they were known for the silk and all
Yes.
the tapestries.
Yeah.
That's the spider shit.
Oh, okay. I thought that they were using that as a pretense.
Oh no, you know what? No, it wasn't even that. It's not even that. It was just whatever fucking mineral was under the ground.
There was a mineral.
It
or
was like
something.
a stabilizing something for the energy. I forgot what it was.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
But it wasn't Kyber. I know it wasn't Kyber.
but at least it was some sort of
it was
resource.
something they had.
It wasn't the
because they were like, if we mine it out, the fucking planet's gonna collapse.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. But they were using the whole fucking pretense of the spider silk as a fucking like, oh my god, this is so important for culture and for everyone else.
It was for the Limitless or Renewable Energy Initiative.
Yeah.
What they were. Yeah.
Which was not that. It was
Not at all.
Not at all for that. But I think this is a good point to end this at. This will be releasing soonish, hopefully.
Roughly about a week from now.
Roughly about a week from now. Some things will probably have changed since the release of this episode. I'm probably not going to do any updates or anything of that sort. But
we may be drafted.
Huh?
We may be drafted.
That's very true. Yeah. But is there anything you want to plug in?
You can reach me on. That's another thing. Fuck Elon. I don't even want to like plug my Twitter. You know what I mean? Like I haven't been on it in so long because he's forcing himself on my feed and shit like that.
Yeah.
My eyes feel. I don't want to just throw the R word around like that. Seems kind of. But they feel assaulted.
Yeah.
I feel like they should be on the Epstein list as victims. But yeah, no. So no, I'm not gonna plug that. Fuck that website.
All right.
But, well, we have to though. You can follow us on Twitter at IB2WPod. God damn it, I hate myself.
Oh my god, I have to do it for this. But you can follow me on Twitch, Chubby Cheeser Pro. I've been streaming. Well, actually, I literally streamed today, and I finished Resident Evil Requiem. But the VODs are being uploaded to YouTube, Chubby Cheeser Pro. I also post shorts or short form content in TikTok and Instagram, Chubby Cheeser Pro. Just look them up. And then also I have a Twitter and Blue Sky, Chubby Chaser Pro. Although on Twitter I'm known as @Pro Chubby Chaser.
Real quick before we sign off, one of the videos that we played earlier, it was from Hassan. I don't know if we mentioned it or not.
Oh no, I didn't mention it. Yeah, one of them was from Hassan. The other one was from PBS.org. I've talked about Hassan before, so it's like it's not really.
On the last podcast, I think we talked about him.
Yeah, I mean, like it's
Doggate.
not really important. Yeah, Collargate basically. But I mean, like, yeah, it was one of his videos. So yeah, that is it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you in another 2 weeks.
Au revoir, everyone.
You guys have a good one. Bye. Intro-outro song is Wah Game Loop by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0, http://creativecommons.org/licenses/by/4.0/